Hey, good morning and welcome to this edition of our digital Devo. My name is Joshua Maxwell and I'm Executive Director at In Focus Church. I want to start this morning's devotional with the main scripture for the message this week. It comes from Matthew 6, verses 9 through 13. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I'm going to scroll back up to the first verse of that. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. What's significant there is the our in our Father and hallowed be your name. I'll read this quote from Westminster Shorter Catechism. The preface of the Lord's Prayer, which is Our Father in heaven, teaches us to draw near to God with all holy reverence and confidence, as children to a Father, able and ready to help us, and that we should pray with and for others. So, who can call God Father? Only those who are His children. Therefore, the Lord's Prayer is understood to be a model of prayer for disciples of Jesus Christ, who, because of Christ, have a relationship with God as Father. Jesus gives us, as His disciples, a model for how to pray and approach God, our Father. The primary purpose of prayer, as described in the Lord's Prayer, is to align the believer's heart with the kingdom and mission of God here on earth. And that alignment is important. It's important for us to know where we are in that relationship. If you're anything like me, then you might swing back and forth between a place of complete depravity and unworthiness, and that's where the Our Father part is very important. Fathers are close. They care about their children. And Jesus teaching us to refer to our God as our Father would have been very special. The hallowed be His name, or the fact that He is in heaven, is also important. Again, if you're anything like me, there are times when I think I'm not that bad or I'm a pretty decent person. And if we move into that place, it can tend to negate anything, or it negates the gravity, the pain, the suffering that Jesus went through on the cross. So it's important. Both are important. He's our Father and that He's in heaven. Notice how the intimacy of God as Father is linked to His greatness and holiness. God's holiness means that He is set apart and distinct from all creation. There is none like Him. God is intimately related to us as Father, yet He is infinitely great, and there is none like Him on earth or in heaven. This model of prayer to God as Father and also as the infinite and holy God is not so much a petition that God will demonstrate His greatness for all to see. Rather, it is a humble request for God to draw His people to Himself, to have a proper attitude towards Him as our loving Father and as our infinitely supreme and transcendent God. Again, just to recap, these are really important relationships to keep in mind. And as the weeks go by or years go by in your walk with Christ as a Christian, it's a constant reminder to each one of us from just a very small section of this scripture from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount in Matthew. If you read it too quickly, it'll go by too quickly, but it's important. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thanks again for joining us this morning for our digital devotion. I hope you stay tuned throughout the rest of the week for the rest of our devotions on Thursday and on Saturday. Also, definitely tune in on Sunday morning and Sunday evening for our service. Good morning.